addition and subtraction. We're just focusing on the addition and subtraction portion for today. When you are adding integers, it's important to understand that with adding integers, if they are the same signs, so if they are the same signs, you are going to add and keep. Add and keep. What they mean by that, you are going to add the two numbers or three numbers together, and you are going to keep whatever the sign is. Shh. Quiet. When it says add and keep, if you're talking about adding or subtracting integers, you will, if they are the same sign, so if they are both negative or if they are both positive, you just add the numbers together and then you keep the sign as it is. So in this case, for the very first example, it says -2 plus -6. Because of the fact that they are both negative, these are both negative, then I'm going to add the two numbers together. I'm going to add the 2 and the 6 together and keep my answer negative. So what is 2 plus 6? 8. So my answer is going to be -8. I'm going to add the 2 and the 6 together, and my answer is going to stay a negative because I'm adding two negatives together. That would be like me saying, I owe Kyle $2, and I owe George $6, so I'm in debt by $8 right now. I owe a total of $8 to two separate people. Same thing with positives. You already know how to add positive numbers together. You've been doing that since kindergarten, adding two positive values together. If Kaya gave me $3 and then Angel gave me $4, how much money do I have? $7. Again, these are both positive. So all I'm going to do is focus on adding the 3 and the 4 together and keep my answer positive. So that's a +7. I don't have to write a plus sign in front of it, but if you wanted to, that's fine. But when you are doing an IXL or doing a Prodigy, if it's a positive value, you just type the number. If it's a negative value, you type the negative sign or the subtraction sign followed by the number. Okay, with different signs. So same signs, we add the numbers and keep the sign as it is. When it's different signs, you're going to subtract just like normal. You're going to subtract your highest number minus your lowest number, and then you're going to keep the sign of the larger base. You're going to keep the sign of the larger base. So here we've got -4 plus 7. One of the values is negative. One of the values is positive. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to subtract them in order of high base minus low base. Which base is larger, 4 or 7? 7. So what I'm technically going to do is I'm going to take 7 and I'm going to subtract 4, and that's going to come out to a 3. Now, 7 was my higher base, right? It says whatever's the larger base, that's the sign that you're going to keep. 7, was 7 positive or was it negative? That was a positive number, right? 7 was a positive number, so that means that my 3 is going to stay a positive number. So when you are adding signs that are different, it's really subtraction. You're just going to subtract like normal, and then whatever base is largest, you keep that sign as your answer. Let's take a look at the second one. We have -8 plus 2. Again, they are different signs. They are different signs. So I'm going to take the higher base minus the lower base. Which base is higher, 8 or 2? Base. Just the number, not the sign. 8. 8 is a higher base. So we're going to do 8 minus the 2. Now, 8 minus 2 comes out to 6. However, What sign was the 8? That was a negative. 8 was a negative. So I'm going to keep that sign as my answer. So it's not going to be 6. It's going to be negative 6. And when in doubt, if you need to, you can do exactly what I told you yesterday. I owe $8, but I only have $2 to give. So I'm not able to pay off my debt. I still have $6 I owe. You can think of it in terms of money. You guys tend to do better when you visualize things with money, because money is money. It makes the world go round. Everybody understands money. Okay? Angel. We ignore the signs for the moment, and you just subtract the two numbers like you would subtract any normal subtraction. And then after you've done your subtraction, that's when you focus. Okay, that 8 was my higher base. Was it a positive or was it a negative? And that's the sign of the next number, of the answer. If it was a positive 8, then it would just stay a 6. Okay, so whatever the higher sign is. And again, you guys are going to try the problems today without the calculator, but the calculator's there to double check. When you say, okay, all right, I worked this problem out and I think it's a positive 7, but it's supposed to be a negative 7. Well, then you should be going back through and going, okay, well, what did I do wrong? Okay, subtracting integers. We don't actually subtract. There is really no such thing as subtraction. Subtraction of integers is really addition. You need to understand the item of additive inverse. The concept of additive inverse means you are actually adding the opposite of what it's telling you to do. So we also call that a keep, change, change. Okay, keep, change, change. That's how additive inverse works. You're going to keep the very first number exactly as it is. You don't change anything about it. It stays a positive or it stays a negative. You're then going to change, we'll do that in blue. You're going to change your subtraction to an addition. And then you're going to change the second value to the opposite of what it was. If it was originally positive, you're going to change it to negative. If it was originally negative, you're going to change it to a positive. That's how subtraction works. You're doing the additive inverse. Inverse means opposite. Okay, so we have negative 15 minus 2. Negative 15 minus 2. So I'm going to go ahead and split this problem up into parts. I'm going to have my first number. I'm going to have my operation. And then I'm going to have my second number. So I'm basically putting a line between my numbers and operation. So it's negative 15. In the center is that minus sign. And then to the right is a 2. That allows me to see whether the 2 is a positive or negative that I'm dealing with. So again, my first rule is to keep. I'm going to just put K. I'm going to keep the negative 15 as it is. So it's going to stay a negative 15. Okay. The second part is to change. I'm going to change that minus sign to a plus sign. And then the second part, the third part is also to change. So I'm going to change 2 to the opposite. What is the opposite of 2? Negative 2. Okay, so now I've got addition. So let's take a look back up at our addition rules. Are these same signs or different signs? Same. And what do we do with same signs? Same signs we add and keep. Same signs, we're going to add the two numbers and keep the sign. So if we add these two numbers together and keep the negative sign, what is our final answer going to be? Negative 17. We add the two numbers, and then we're going to keep that sign. We're going to keep the negative. Okay? Negative 17 will be our answer. All right, let's take a look at this one. Again, I'm going to go ahead and just build my little walls around it. I'm going to split the -5 up away from the subtraction sign and away from the -4. So the rule is, the very first thing is to keep. I'm going to keep that -5. I'm going to change subtraction to addition. And then I'm going to change. I'm going to change -4 to the opposite. What's the opposite of -4? 4. Positive 4. Came in strong and wrong there, dude. All right, so we have -5 plus 4. Okay? Look back at our addition rules. Are these same signs or different signs? Different. So what do we do with different signs? We actually subtract the numbers and then keep the sign of the larger. If we were to subtract 5 and 4, what would we get? 1. And what's larger? Is it the negative? Do we have more negative or more positive? More negative. So our answer is -1. Yes, dear. Yeah, you have connections today. At 12:20. We still have 20 minutes. You thrown for a loop today? It's because we changed. We're not in extended homeroom anymore. So we went to pride time today. Is that bad? I'm so sorry. I see how it is. I see how the hate goes. All right. What I want you guys to do right now, without your calculator first. So try it without the calculator. Go ahead and do problems 1 through 6. And then I want you to use the calculator to check. See if you got it right. If you did not get it right, then go back through. See if you can figure out what you did wrong. Okay, let's go ahead and go over this. So for problem number 1, it is an addition problem. So we're going to look to see whether it's same sign or different. They are different signs. So because of the fact that they're different signs, we're actually going to just subtract 7 minus 2. And that's going to give us 5. And the fact that the 7 was a negative means that my 5 is going to be a negative. So your final answer for number 1 should have been -5. For problem number 2, it's an addition problem. They are the same signs, so that means that we are just going to go ahead and add and keep. They are the same sign, so we're going to add the numbers together. I'm going to do 4 plus 5, and then I'm going to keep the negative sign. 4 plus 5 is going to give me 9, so I get a -9 as my answer. For problem number 3, it's currently subtraction. So I'm going to go ahead and split this into a keep, change, change. I'm going to keep the 8 as it is. I'm going to change the subtraction into addition. And then I'm going to change the -4 into a +4. I now have an addition problem with the same signs. They are both positives, so I can add that together and get a +12. For problem number 4, again, it's subtraction, so I'm going to split this up, and I'm going to do keep. So I'm going to keep the -9 as is. I'm going to change subtraction into addition, and I'm going to change a +2 into a -2. It's now addition, and again, it's addition with the same signs. They are both negative signs, so it means I'm going to keep the negative, and I'm just going to add the 9 and the 2 together. And 9 plus 2 gives me 11, so I get a -11. For problem number 5, it's an addition problem. -3 plus -11, they are same signs. They're both negatives. So I'm just going to add the numbers together and keep the sign. 3 plus 11 is 14, so I'm going to get a -14. And then for the last problem, it's subtraction. So we're going to go ahead and split this up into a keep, change, change. We're going to keep the 7 as is. Oops, sorry. Keep the 7 as is. We're going to change the subtraction into addition. And we're going to change the 15 into a negative 15. It's addition of different signs. Addition of different signs. So what we're really going to do is pretend to do 15 minus 7. And because of the fact that the 15 is negative, our answer is going to be a negative. So what is 15 minus 7? 8. So our answer is going to be a negative 8. The answer is a negative 8. Okay, take a moment to get that copy down, and then we'll go to the next page. We'll finish the rest of the notes tomorrow. So that means that what I have planned for your closing today, we're going to cut it down to one skill today. And then we'll do the other skills tomorrow after we do the rest of the notes. So let's go ahead and get through here. Our word problems. It says Mount Everest. That's a mountain, right? Mount Everest is 29,028 feet above sea level. 29,028 feet above sea level. The Dead Sea. The Dead Sea is 1,312 feet below sea level. Okay, so you have two elements of the earth that are spread across a different range of elevations. We want to know what is the difference between these two elevations. So keyword here first. Who can tell me what does the word difference mean? What operation is the word difference? Vincent? Okay. What operation is it? Subtract. Subtraction. So the word difference means that we are going to go ahead and subtract the two elevations. So we're going to take the elevation for Mount Everest, and Mount Everest is above sea level. So what does that mean it is? Positive or negative? Positive. Mount Everest is a positive value that is above sea level, right? The keyword above. So we're going to take the value of Mount Everest, which is a positive 29,028 feet. And we are going to subtract the value of the Dead Sea. Is the Dead Sea positive or negative? Negative, right? Because it's below. It's below sea level. So the Dead Sea happens to be below sea level. So it's going to be a negative value. So I'm going to put that negative value in parentheses so that I don't mistake it with my subtraction sign. I'm going to put that negative 1,312. Okay, so now I'm going to have to go ahead and do 29,028 minus negative 1,312. But we know that we could technically keep change and change. So if we keep this as a positive, change that to addition, and change that to a positive, we're really just adding the two numbers together without any negatives. Who can tell me what this is going to come out to? You can use your calculators for this one. Do 29,028, so 29028, minus negative 1312. Angel? Very good. 30,340 feet. That's how far apart those two elevations are from each other. Okay. In Denver, the temperature in the morning was negative 18 degrees. By the afternoon, the temperature rose 12 degrees. What is the temperature at now? Okay, so we're starting at the morning with negative 18 degrees. So I'm going to go ahead and highlight that in pink. That's my negative. So I'm starting at negative 18. Now it rose 12 degrees. Rose. What do you think I'm going to do? Am I going to add or subtract? Add. And is 12 positive or negative? Positive. So it rose 12 degrees. So that's my positive, or my addition. I'm going to add. And 12 is a positive value. So now we're doing negative 18 plus 12. Negative 18 plus 12, what is that going to be? Not negative 16, but negative 6. Negative 6. Okay? So it's negative 6 degrees Fahrenheit is the new temperature. Tomorrow when you come into class, your warm-up is going to be an IXL standard going over how to do adding and subtracting with word problems. You have no homework tonight, so go ahead and pack up.